Good morning, Skidaway. I'm excited to be here with you this morning. For 6 months, I have had the joy of sharing my heart with you, and I just want to thank you for that. We are continuing this saga of Isaac. God comes to Isaac and he cuts covenant again. The covenant promise made to Abraham could have died with Abraham, but to God's glory, he cuts it anew with Isaac and reiterates 3 amazing promises. That one, that he's going to turn Isaac into a great nation. That 2, that as long as he stays in the promised land, God is going to bless him beyond his wildest imagination. And then that finally he is going to bless the rest of the nations through Isaac, through Abraham. That's something to celebrate and to rejoice in, to give us great faith. That point is what I call a spiritual mountaintop for Isaac. But like every mountain, sometimes you have to climb back down. And unfortunately, Isaac stumbles as he comes down because he follows in the footsteps of Abraham. He is faced with famine, so he's headed towards Egypt. God has warned him to stay in that land, and so he doesn't go past the land of the Philistines. Now, this is the promised land. This is the land that God has promised to give to them. And so, once again, Isaac is faced with an Abimelech, much like his father Abraham was. Abimelech is a title given to the king of the Philistines, which is why we see more than one. Well, much like Abraham, again, Isaac lies and says that his wife is in fact his sister. And he's called out on it when he's showing Rebekah some affection. And Abimelech comes to Isaac crying, "Why would you do this to me? Do you not know that this would be a curse upon us?" Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that both of these men have been told stories by their predecessors. I'm pretty sure Abraham let him know what he did and what God has blessed and shown him. At least I hope so. But if he did, I have to wonder, why would Isaac make this same mistake? Was his fear that strong? And then on Abimelech's side, oh my gosh, what an impression God had to have made on his predecessor, that he's told him about these people who've been called separate. We see God blessing Isaac while he lives there. It is amazing to me the amount of blessings that God has for us, but we still hold on once again to our fear. We fall into this pattern of habitual sin. And what it does is it holds us back from the true blessings of God. So my prayer for us today is that as we proceed in this season of Lent, as we prepare our hearts for the celebration of Easter, that we take time to reflect and to look on what things are keeping us from God's fulfillment of his will in our lives. What things are tripping us up? I pray that when you find those things in your life, that you turn them over to God. Let's just get our hearts ready for Christ. Let's get our hearts ready for that power that comes in resurrection by identifying what things hold us back from God. Have a good day, Skidaway.